Does anyone else like blowing up spaceships? Because I sure do. And if you like blowing up spaceships, then let's play Annihilate the Spance. This is a really cool, really fun little indie game. Just came out a couple weeks ago into early access. It's got some really great bones to it. It's a ton of fun. It looks beautiful. It sounds nice. I'm excited to show it off a little bit. Maybe play a little bit, let you see what you think of it, because I've been having a really great time with it. Now, this is like base building, auto battling. For the most part, you've got a base that you start off with, and you're trying to build resource collectors, and you're trying to accumulate matter and energy to power your economy. You're trying to manage logistics to increase your population cap, and then you're building factories, and then different factories make different things, and you could tell your corvette yards to make all kinds of different corvettes. You could tell your frigate yards to make different frigates. Your cruisers are different cruisers, your capital ships, etc., etc. And then when they get made, they just autopilot straight into the enemy, and they get into this glorious Royal Rumble. And eventually there's sort of a push and pull, and if you do things right, you can overwhelm the enemy. You can also do a little bit of, so the micro is almost non-existent, but there's a little bit. You can set certain waypoints for factories, so we can have guys coming out of this factory fly way to the right and then sort of loop around the back of the enemy's base, try to catch them unaware, or we could try to send a certain amount of ships to one flank to kind of overpower it. And there's a lot of very subtle strategy. There's a lot of sort of reading what the enemy is making in their base and how are you going to counter it. There's a lot of sort of looking at the ships that the enemy's using and maybe adjusting what your shipyards are making in order to counter the ships that they have. All in all, it's a ton of fun. It's super cool. Let's jump into a game. I'll show you how it works. We'll go straight into a skirmish here. We'll crank it up to traumatic difficulty because why not? We'll play, there's three factions, but only two playable right now. The Contaline and the Valkyrie. I don't know if those names are remotely correct, but there we go. We're gonna play both of us as the Contaline. The Contaline, I bet that's probably it. Let's go, starting stuff looks fine. There's a number of different maps. You could play big team games. I don't believe there's multiplayer in the game yet, though I'm really excited for it to be there. But let's go. We start off, we've got our little, our platform. This is sort of our main base. If this blows up, you die. And what we need to do is we need to get some economy on the line. So we are gonna build some cohesors to generate a little extra matter per second. And as you can see, the game is perfectly pausable. It plays really nicely. It plays very chill. And you've got this nice little synth soundtrack. The soundtrack's a lot of fun. So we're gonna invest in just 5 of these cohesors real early. If we eyeball the guy over here, he's gone. A couple cohesors and reactors to get some energy. So you have 3 main things that you're worrying about. You're worrying about your matter, your energy, and your logistics. In addition to that, there's the actual amount of space that you can build in here, which is limited, but you can expand it as well. Okay, maybe we'll go one more cohesor. Has he started building? Okay, so he started building shipyards, so I need to get some shipyards going too. We'll start with just some light vessel construction. We'll make some little light, what are they called? Just light vessels I got. Are they like corvettes? I don't know. They're basically corvettes. They're effectively corvettes. So these cost us 15 mass, 1 logistics, and take 10 seconds to build. And we'll just build whatever the default ones are, which are these little tallies, little swarm assaults, strong against everything in numbers. But we could also be building point defense, which is good against missiles and drones. We could be building these capital armor shredders, which can shred the armor off of tough targets, making them easier for weaker units to hit them. We could have these anti-armor heat units, so ships have all kinds of stats on them, and I'll show you in a little bit. And then the last one is the armored AoE. But so we've got little tallies come up, and of course we could pause and we could look. We got these wonderful little wiki entries. You could see everything about stuff. We can see the stats that they have. We could see the weapons that they're equipped with. These guys have a 1-point light cannon. It does 20 damage. It pierces 5 armor. It does about 40 damage per second because it shoots every half second. It also does an amount of heat. So units have an armor value, which is like a straight reduction in the amount of damage that they take. Big units have a lot of armor, but enough heat being put on something degrades the armor and makes it easier to pierce through it. So there's really cool stuff you could do. You could lean into swarms where you're making lots and lots of very small ships. Let's start putting a couple medium yards up. Now these ones cost us 40 matter and 10 energy and 2 logistics, but will allow us to start building some better, some larger ships, which we will need eventually. But we can see the enemy has a couple light ships coming up, which are able to fight off my ships. He also has a couple of his medium ships coming out, armored assaults that are strong against enemy assault units. So he's probably going to be able to blow away some of my little guys here. So here's what we'll do. We'll grab some of our factories, and we're going to switch them over to... maybe over to the Fauces, the strong against armor, the heat drones. Not drones, but heat corvettes. And then we need to get our own medium yards online so we could start building some stuff to counter his medium stuff coming out. We'll let those front lines make normal guys, and then these back two that we just built, we'll switch these into flanking anti-armor units. We got that nice bump in soundtrack. It's a lot of fun. And again, very low micro, low APM. We're keeping the enemy kind of pushed back onto his side. Here's another thing we could do. You see these rocks floating around in the environment? Now some of this stuff is just sort of pretty looking civilian structures. These don't mean anything. But there are also these little meteors, or not meteors, asteroids floating around. So one thing we could do is, in addition to our stuff that just kind of makes matter for us over time, our cohesors, we could build a yard of refinery, which will make mining vessels. Boom, boom, put one on each side. And these will automate mining vessels, and the mining vessels will go out and start mining the asteroids. Now the asteroids are a big boost in resources, but of course you're sort of outside of your base. It's easier for them to get destroyed. Maybe we're gonna invest in a little bit of energy now. So we'll build some of our catalyst reactors. Maybe 2 sets of 4 will move us from 1 energy a second to 3 energy a second, which would be a nice boost. How's our fight? Well, looks like we're getting pushed back a bit, but we've got more of our mediums starting to come online. We should be able to hold the line. Maybe we'll invest a little more in some more medium factories, because you always got to be wary, especially when the enemy starts to get sort of a critical mass of all stuff together. So one thing we could do is we could synchronize when all of our ships will be done. I think maybe we will do that. So we'll grab everything, and then we'll hit the Q button. 24 yards halted to sync ASAP. So what that does is it stops the stuff that's almost done, and everything will wait until it's all done together, and boom, it'll all pop up at once. Okay, we got some tough fights going on there. Maybe... yeah, what are we gonna do? Let's try and switch. I think we could hold the line for a while here. So let's switch to some heavy yards. Now these are very expensive. These are costing me 100 mana and 50 energy apiece, but they'll allow me to put out some really tough ships here. We'll do one of our armored assaults, and the other one we'll do flak AoE to chop up his light ships. And then we'll go back to getting some more mediums to try and hold the line here. And these new mediums we will put on, what do we like? Maybe a mix of flak AoE and point defense. I don't see a lot of missiles coming out, but they will eventually, and we're gonna need to have a counter ready for them. We're starting to get low on our logistics, so we will build a couple of these little logistics base cores, which will provide us extra logistics. And then I'm gonna dump the rest of my mass right now into extra light factories just to try to get some more chaff out there. So you can see one of the units I had sent out is this Partel, this flanking anti-armor. So flanking ships, instead of flying straight towards the enemy, they do kind of a circle strafe where they go around the outsides. Now that's nice because sometimes it'll pull off the enemy ships and sort of get them divided from each other. This is looking okay, but they're getting a tad close. Let's keep up the construction here. Let's get another 2 heavy yards, I think, would make me happy. What is he making? He also has some heavy yards coming online. Okay, well, let's get some more mediums up. Mediums, mediums, mediums. I mean, really, I think a strong strategy is heavily investing in the light and the medium stuff, because you can get big groups of it without having to wait too long. The bigger things can turn the tide, but they could also be picked off by swarms of small stuff, so you don't want to invest too heavily in them. Okay, there's a lot going on out there, but it's looking okay. I feel pretty good about this mix of ships we've got. I think I'm going to invest in another line of light stuff. Nope, we're out of logistics. We got to get some more logistics up back here. Boop, boop, boop. And maybe I'm going to build some energy storage as well. Maybe a little bit of mass storage. That'll let me move towards some of the bigger expenditures if I have some more storage. We put some more medium yards up. There, let's go. I guess more flanking anti-armor for them will make me happy. And we're going to try and put some more light yards up. We got a nice mass of ships here. I think we're going to start pushing them back. It's looking pretty good. So I'm going to lean into even more light stuff. Maybe we'll change these new ones we just made to the armor shredders. That'll be good if he starts getting some of the bigger stuff out that gives me trouble. But we got a really good push of our units here. I think we're going to start making some progress, maybe even start blowing up his base. It'd be great. Oh, one of his heavies just came online. That's going to give us some trouble. It would be really great if we could pick off these 2 heavy factories that are in the front of him. We've got a bit saved up, so here's what we'll do with it. We're going to invest in a graviton. And am I going to invest in a graviton engine? No, I don't have enough space to put it. Okay. In that case, we're going to invest in... Yeah, we'll do the graviton engine. So this is a big energy producer, an extra 5 energy a second. And then we're going to also make a control node, which we attach to our space over here, and it'll make a new space that we could build in, because we need more space to build some bigger shipyards. And here's some of our heavies are starting to come out. Oh, he's in big trouble. He's in big trouble. We're pushing him back. He's got what are these heat artillery in the back lines. So you can see this guy's starting to sort of glow a little bit. He's lit up on, he's got some heat on him, making his shields lighter. So he's taking some damage, even though he's a big heavy ship. He's gonna go down. He's getting blasted, but we are getting some of these front yards. All right, making some progress against the enemy's infrastructure. So we'll just let it go with what we got, and we're gonna invest in the long term here. So we're gonna get a cohesion facility up, which is a whole bunch more matter per second, should almost double the amount of income we get there. Maybe we'll get another graviton engine for extra energy. We'll start investing in our economy since it's not that critical right now. He might even be dead with what we've currently got. I think our large ships are gonna be hard for him to deal with. He's got a couple of heavy-duty flak ships, which are going to blow up our smaller stuff, but he's going to struggle to deal with our big stuff, I think. He does have some of the heat artillery in the back, might be enough to sort of weaken our things. There goes down one of our bigs, but we're still, I mean, you can still see the line of everything being produced from our shipyards streaming in the background. All right, let's be real greedy. Let's go just full econ into a bunch of stuff. We're building more matter and energy storage and matter production. We might be able to get him with this. I mean, it's really nice because I have seen a lot of push and pull where you think you've got a nice push on the enemy and you kind of take your foot off the gas to do something else, and he's able to, you know, produce and get back. But I think we've got him this time. I don't think he's got quite the right amount of ships, the right kind of ships to be able to deal with us. And the heavies that we got out early, these 4 heavy shipyards, boom, they're hanging back, they're hanging here, and they're doing really, really well. He's had a hard time bringing them down. And his main base is going down. Boom, we got him. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Mission accomplished. That's a game of Annihilate the Spance for you. Isn't that cool? Went pretty quick. 693 seconds in real time, task completed. Now, there's a lot of different ways you could do it. So the bigger multiplayer games are fun. We could show you one of those. But there's also a story campaign, and it's surprisingly not too bad. I sort of even like the writing of it in some cases. Right now, I believe we've only got the first campaign and the second campaign done. 3rd, 4th, 5th are under development to come. But I'm going to show you one of my favorite missions just so you can get an idea of sort of the grandiosity of how some of these go. I think it's this one. So the missions, you know, they give you a little bit of text. People are talking to each other, yada, yada, yada. We're going to jump right in. I just want to show you the kind of stuff so they put you in all these crazy scenarios and things. For example, in this one, we're coming to the rescue of someone who's in a lot of trouble. This guy over here is going to be my ally. He's got a fleet, but he's fighting against a much larger base from the enemy. There's a couple little enemy bases around that my ally is going to help to blow up, but then this huge enemy base up here is going to be just in constant battle with him, and it's my job to try to build myself up to be able to help him. So let's get some economy underway, get some infrastructure up, and we'll count on our ally here, who has a whole bunch of ships and stuff already, being able to sort of produce and protect me for a little bit. We also have a bit of a timer on us, as over here in the corner, the Redemption Foundry is a tactical nuke launcher. Now it's gonna take a long time to build, but when it does get up, it's gonna wreck my shit. So that is our first target, is trying to figure out if we can get enough stuff up to fight off the tactical nuke launcher. And really, I'd like to kind of lean a little extra heavily into some economy, because we're not gonna have the space to do economy later. It's gonna start getting real hot for us. Now Captain Nefans shows up. So earlier in the campaign, I had saved this guy's life. So he's a persistent unit, so he can show up later in the campaign to help me out. Now this is a big old capital ship, the Heimdall, the Ferris Terror. I love it. So this guy I can actually give limited commands to. I could tell him to move around to where I want him to be. So now I need to get him some help, because a capital ship by itself is a sitting duck. So we're gonna throw up a whole bunch of medium yards, we're gonna throw up a whole bunch of light yards as quickly as we can. Now I want to try and take out this base, but, and I haven't shown you too much, there's a whole array of different turrets and defenses you could build. This guy's got these big pulse howitzers, he's got these Aegis emitters which put shields out, there's dust piercers which are long-range guns, all kinds of heavy defense turrets. So I can't just fly my capital ship in here or the heavy defense turrets are gonna chop me up. That's why I need to get some light ships to be some chaff to draw some fire. I need some heavy ships to some medium ships to help to also like put some extra DPS out. Man must not live by capital ship alone. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. Maybe we'll throw up a quick refinery or two to try and get some of those asteroids behind us. And we've got ships starting to come out. Okay, so we'll start moving our capital ship forward. And maybe we'll also transition to some, nope, we're out of logistics. Gotta get some more logistics up. The logistics always sneak up on you. They will sneak up on you every time, without fail. We're capping out fast, so I'm gonna build some extra storage for some of our stuff, for some of our resources. And here, some of my ships are not going exactly where I want them to be. So I can make this little bubble here and basically say, everything underneath this, I want you to go that way. And now anything new that gets built will follow those orders I gave them. And you could also give extra orders. I can drag this and move it around. I can say go that way and then go that way. But in this case, just a straight line will work for us. I don't want him to get involved in this big primary fleet battle over there. I want him to come over here and deal with some of this stuff. We're gonna maybe be a little careful with our capital ship. He's taking some fire from stuff here, but he's also blown stuff up too. Okay, he's got help coming. He'll be all right. Our logistics got upped a little bit, so we're gonna spend that bank on a whole bunch of heavy factories. We'll put some into heat artillery, strong against turrets, because I know we got to be doing some base busting, and then we'll do some anti-armor, all that good stuff. All right. So now we're starting to get some good backup for this guy. He's going to be okay, I think, although he is taking a lot of blasts, taking a lot of hits. Let's back him up a little bit, slowly. I really would like to not lose him. I'd like to save him to be able to use him later on. Let's get this help out here to help. Blow this stuff up, guys. Oh yeah, let's pull this capital ship way back. He's taking a lot of hits from that artillery and those defensive guns. I think he'll be all right. Some of the enemy's forces are diverting to help too, so we're gonna need our heavier stuff really to get through this. If we look at the nuke launcher, it's still cooking for another 100 seconds before it's done building. Let's get some large shipyards up. And logistics again, of course. Logistics looks good. We're making okay, so he's okay. We're making okay money. I wish I was making more. All right, so now the enemy gets reinforcements. That's not ideal because we still haven't gotten rid of that nuke foundry yet. So the enemy has an allied base who's set up on my left flank here. Let's, oh boy. Let's lean into some more medium shipyards to try to bulk out our forces here. We'll try and make sure we have sort of a varied amount of stuff. This guy will heal up over time. Naturally, I just gotta keep him out of the fight for a little bit. I don't like that redemption foundry. That's gonna be trouble. Here come the heavies, though. Maybe that'll be enough to help us break it. And we're gonna need more space, so we will expand the base. We'll put down 2 expansions a little forward, which is risky because they could get blown up by the enemies, but I'm gonna count on being able to defend them. I'm also gonna throw up some more little light corvette stuff, a whole bunch of it, and we'll pick some different options for them, just so that we're having a nice, getting some variety. Okay, we're moving in, but we're not quite getting the blast on this nuke facility, and it's got a nuke up in 60 seconds. Oh dear, I might be in trouble here. So usually it nukes the farthest out platform you've got. I should have built my platform a little further out. We'll build one out here. Maybe this one will eat the nuke, and our back platforms will be okay. Oh lord, we might be in trouble here. Might have been a little silly, showing you guys too much stuff and not focusing on the game, but just, you know, FYI, it's not an easy game. It asks for you to be doing the right things at the right time. Nuke coming up in 10 seconds. It's possible I might shoot it down before it gets to me. We'll see. The Kontalograd. Here it comes. First one's coming out. Bring it down. Oh no, it's nuking my capital ship. Oh, we got it. We did manage to blast it before it hit us. Okay. All right, good. We got another 60 seconds before another nuke comes up. Oh, lordy lord. Let's try and focus on factories. We need as many ships as we can get. I don't want to build too far up because I'm afraid of these front stuff getting nuked up here. We're still not getting any damage on that. We're getting a little bit of work over here. Are you guys moving to the right way? It's hard, especially with this other platform up, it's hard to get my guys on target. Maybe we'll see if we could sneak in the Ferris Terror here. Maybe he can blast down this thing. But he's also getting hit on his left flank with stuff. We got a good array of ships being built right now, so I'm excited about that. If we can not get blown up by nukes, and another one just came out. Oh no, is it gonna hit my capital? Oh, it is. Never mind, run away. He's dead. All right. Well, if I was playing for real, I would restart because I don't want to lose this guy because I want him to show up in later missions to help me. But as is, we'll keep it going. We do have some ships are starting to kind of break through here. Getting a little bit of damage, but gosh, we got to get rid of that nuke. How's my ally holding? He's holding all right on that flank. New heavy vessels almost coming up. Boom, 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 you guys. We got a nice fleet here, but we're just sort of struggling to get on target. I really want to get that foundry down, and I can't really tell people go attack this, right? All I can kind of do is, all we can do is tell them which direction we want them to go in and hope for the best. We got a nice little push over here. We're keeping them busy here. Some stuff's getting through. Oh, 2 minutes left. Okay, so there's a timer on this mission. There's another nuke. Blast that. Oof. Just vaporize some of my fleet there. So there's a timer on this mission. If we can hold out for 2 more minutes, reinforcements will show up to help us survive. And I think we will hold for 2 minutes, but I would have felt better if we could blow them up. I wonder if there is. I'm not entirely sure if it would change. Like, if you blow up the enemy, does stuff change further down the line? There is some persistent stuff in the campaign. Boom, boom, boom. Get some new fleet yards up. Get some more logistics up. Yeah, there's too much purple stuff getting caught here. We should have taken a harder flank right off the bat to try to get into this nuke base before this other base came over here and got in our way. Can we just go blow this base up first, maybe? We shall see. We're getting a lot of stuff online here. Our income's pretty decent. Here's like 1,000 more Corvette factories we're getting up real shortly. And we're getting some fire on their base. Yeah, they're just keeping us pretty busy over here. There's a number of sort of big cruisers or capital ships that are giving me some grief. Okay, here's our backup coming. Any minute now. I think it's like this gargantuan battleship. But just look how beautiful it is. Boom. Just the explosions and the ships blowing up and the missiles flying and lasers. And you can see, like, if we look into some of our bigger ships, so this guy's got, you know, heavy-duty missile launchers as well as, you know, light defensive guns. Some of the other heavier stuff. This guy here, 8 high-tracking auto guns, 4 auto slug guns, so like really high DPS, a bunch of shots, not high in the heat, but just sort of close-range damage. It all comes out from each individual turret. We can spin the camera around really nicely to see everything. Gosh, it's so pretty, it's so fun. It's looking like we will be able to overwhelm this guy over here. Our buddy's not dead yet, but he might be in trouble. Oh, they're all in trouble. The reinforcements have arrived. We survived long enough. Attention, Fleet Marshal. You are now screwed. Okay, so we did overwhelm. Let's turn off this. We did overwhelm this fleet over here, and now the good news is my great big army here, hopefully once we chase down the last of some of these enemy ships, will reroute and hit the flank of this enemy force over here. So I think even if the reinforcements didn't arrive, we probably would have been okay, because we were just about to start pulling it in our favor here. I've been floating way too many resources because I've just been yapping it up with you guys, but you always, when you're actually playing sweaty like, you want to make sure you're not floating resources. Spend them if you got them. Yeah, now you can see that we did manage to not take too much catastrophic damage from the nukes. It did nuke one of our fleets. It did nuke down our capital ship, I think. And it's finally going down. We should have focused probably on getting more ships out quicker and pulling it down earlier. But I think the enemy's in big trouble here. This gargantuan soul warden thing blows them up just as my fleet was starting to overwhelm this left flank. Task completed. So that's one of the cool campaign games, and they're all like that. The campaign missions are really varied. They throw you into the thick of things, great big battles, you know, being attacked from all sides, all kinds of crazy stuff. They're a lot of fun. I had a really good time. 8 missions in the first one, 15 missions in the second campaign. All of them, every single one. I'm like, this is fun. And again, tough fights too. Just about everyone I restarted a few times because I'm like, oh, well, that fleet composition didn't work. Let's give you one more. Let's try and do like a team game. We'll do like a 3v3. Put some AIs in here. We'll put ourselves on A team and the enemies on a B team. Put it like that. Doot. Tell you what, we'll play the other faction this time. How about I'll show you the other guys and we'll put the enemies all in the same faction. Let's do it. One more big team game, big 3v3. Now these guys have different stuff. So they have these great big space weirdly shaped matter cohesion arrays that generate matter per second. 75 cohesion, or 75 matter makes 1 matter per second when it's done. So we'll go into 4 of those. we're gonna want some ships. So it looks like all the asteroids, I guess there's some behind us. Okay, so it would make sense to get those. So these guys actually use their drone construction, their drone hangars. They make little drone mining drones. So we will commit to some mining drones early on. We're in sort of a safe spot behind our two buddies, so we could afford to be a little extra greedy, I think. And we got to make sure we get some power online too before we forget about it. Okay, that should be pretty good economically, and we're gonna need to get some ships up. So these guys, I can't even remember the name of them, but the guys that I'm playing are different now. They have slightly larger for their small ships, their light ships. They're a 2x1 instead of a 1x1. So they build a little slower, but they fight a little tougher. So the enemy is more of a swarm faction, and his stuff's already starting to come in, so we gotta get our stuff online. Looks like my right computer ally here went heavy into some drones, into some light ships early. We're gonna go heavy into light ships as well, and then try and greed eco again on top of that. And when I say eco, of course I mean economy, and that just means building stuff that gives me more resources more quickly. And one of the things I didn't mention actually is, at least for your mass income here, you can see I have a little percentage here. The more stuff you build that gives you income, the less efficient it all gets. So it's not just a straight, linear graph. You build more income, you get more income, you build more income. So you don't just build for, forever. What you're trying to do is a careful balance of each. A little bit of building of this, a little bit of building of that. If you go too heavy on the just trying to boost up your matter reserves, the efficiency of it drops way down. Now these guys can't build additional logistics depots. Their logistics comes from expanding their base out in different directions. Okay, the enemy's got some heavy duty stuff out here. We got to start shifting to some bigger things already. I see a bunch of medium ships, and we're light on the logistics. We got to get this relay buoy up. All right, the buoy is online. We need to get some medium yards online to help our buddies out. And maybe we'll shift a bunch of our ships into anti-armor, because they're already pushing my right buddy here, which is not so good. Alright, that's looked okay, but we're floating resources again. Stop floating resources. Get them spent. Boom, boom, boom. We'll just put stuff where we can get it. We'll fill in some of these holes with some extra light ships. Nope, we're out of logistics again. Crap. I think we'll use our last 3 logistics to put up another fusion core, which will help us get some energy, because we need 150 energy to expand. Alright, we did push him back from the right-hand side. That's good. It looks like he's got a lot of light stuff coming out now, and we've got a pretty decent core of sort of light-medium things here to hold him back, I think. I think we'll be okay for the short term. We'll put up some matter storage, because we're floating matter. And when I say floating, I mean, it's just sitting in the storage banks, not getting used. So that's not ideal. All right, finally we can get another relay buoy up. In 20 seconds we'll have more logistics. How's our fighting going here? We're pushing them back a little bit, but it's looking like parity. A lot of light ships coming out from them. I would love to be able to transition into some heavy stuff, but I don't think I've got the economy for it. We're gonna invest in a bunch more energy. We're gonna invest in a bunch more matter. We'll be greedy. We'll be greedy for now. Boom. Looking all right. Starting to see some heavy yards come up back in the enemy. So we need some of our own heavier stuff coming up. Get some cruiser yards coming up. These are great big ones. So again, we're the faction that builds things bigger and slower but better. So excited to get some. We need another 150 energy for a second cruiser yard. I think maybe we'll just try and spam them. We'll just go all cruiser yards, all mid. And I think that's gonna make our allies a little weak here. We've got a nice push though. We're pushing them far away from our base, so we're getting towards them. I imagine that's gonna turn and come back towards us once the enemy heavies start coming online. Logistics again. Arg. Okay. All right, we can do it. We can do this. We got a lot of energy coming now. We could probably use a little bit of energy storage to help buffer that a bit. While we wait for our logistics. Another relay buoy up. Oh look, we've got a really good critical mass here of sort of longer range sort of missile ships that are kind of hanging in the back. So, you know, our lighter ships go up front and get kind of blown up, but the long range ones stay in the back and they keep sort of amassing and accruing. And we're slowly pushing into the enemy. Oh, really nice. He just got a heavy out and we blew it up right away. I think we got him. I think we got him on the ropes pretty heavy here. They're gonna struggle, and once my capital, or not my capitals, but my cruisers actually start coming online, they're gonna be in big trouble. Big trouble, I tell ya. We've got a nice push here. We're starting to even hit some of their front yards. Once you start losing infrastructure, it's real bad. It's real bad. I feel like we got this. I feel like we got this. It's looking really great. There's a couple heavies coming online from the back guy, but I don't think it's going to be enough to push us back because we just have so much here and they're taking some heavy casualties. In that case, let's just be greedy as could be. We'll build a whole bunch of storage and we'll go straight to like super duper capital ships if we get to that point. I think the enemy might just be dead before any of our capital ships come out. We're already just about on their main platforms. We got a nice stream of reinforcements coming up. I don't see anything coming out that's going to turn the tide. He's got a number of big stuff blasting away, but it's not enough. It's not enough. We've got way too much medium-sized stuff here that, boom, one platform down. It's going to be GG. I think it's 3v2 now. And our gigantic capital yards are 1,000 matter and 500 energy, so we're almost there, but I don't think he's going to get out this game. I think we've got the tide turned in our favor pretty irrevocably at this point. Oh my god, can I even fit this sucker somewhere? I can't even fit him anywhere. We need to like make a bunch of custom space in order to even get that capital yard up. But again, I don't think it's gonna come online because look at this glorious destruction here. Whole lot of missiles coming out. You can see with the really heavy missile fire from our side, you need, missiles are very strong. They do a lot of damage, but can be countered by point defense. Little tiny guns on ships and turrets and things can blast the missiles before they hit their target. And then your nice heavy duty strong missile didn't do anything at all. But that'll be all she wrote because we're about to annihilate this guy right out of the Spance. It's so fun, guys. I really strongly recommend it. It's a really good time. It's not stressful. It goes fast. You can both sort of like head down and just play for hours and have fun with it. Or if you've just got, 10 minutes, you could jump in and just do a quick skirmish. I think once we get some multiplayer online, hopefully they're developing multiplayer. I don't even know. But this would be really fun to play multiplayer. It'd be really interesting. I think there'd be a really fascinating development of meta and styles of, does it make sense to flank the enemy? Does it make sense to do a mass of small ships? Is it more effective just to, beeline straight to some really large ships? What are team games like? Can you have one guy go large ships and one guy go small ships? Will that mix together properly, or does everyone need to be kind of balanced? Who knows? It's really cool though. It's got a built-in editor so you could edit and create your own custom maps and campaigns and things. Excited to see what people do with that. It's got a nice little unit databank so you could come in here and you can look through all the units and compare different weapon profiles. They've done a nice job sticking flavor text on everything. It does feel like a little bit of a realized universe. And again, this is, a game by Alex, Brendan, and Luke. These are 3 or 4 dudes who have made this a sort of a little indie labor of love, and I think it deserves your attention. I've had a great time with it, and I strongly recommend Annihilate the Spance. Give it a shot, guys. If you think it'd be interesting at all, it's a lot of fun. That'll do it for us today. Pretty quick, pretty to the point. If you like space battles and blowing spaceships up, here you go. You're welcome. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you next time.